Speak life, not death, and blessings over yourself. Speak life, not death, and blessings over yourself.
Yeah. K-Rino Radio. K-Rino Radio. Let's tell them about it. You're listening to K-Rino Radio on 90.1. Who is he? What is he? What does he do? Where is he from? H-Town, where the independent grind was invented. Understand, I'm the property owner, you just a tenant. KPFT is the station and location for the really special guests. Good knowledge and information for the coldest on the air. We making a strong case. If you scared of the truth, then you in the wrong place. Every Friday, 11 o'clock p.m. Central. We cooking the game, serving it up, feeding your mental. You can even call in, dial 713, backdoor with 526 KPFT. We ain't playing with them, we gon' tell it like it is, partner. Out of town, KPFT.org, yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow,
K-Rino Radio, it's no slight to anybody who's ever been on my show, and there's just some individuals who you feel honored to be in their presence. And this is a man who comes from the era that I came up in, and he was a man who inspired myself and a lot of the artists from our era to believe that we could actually make some noise in this music industry based on the fact that they showed us the way. He was one of the examples. We going all the way back to 1984. Original Ghetto Boy. Way back when Johnny C and Jukebox and Sir Rap-A-Lot and all those brothers was getting down, when Jay Prince was first exercising the vision.
He was Little J.
And this man is one of the most intelligent, iconic, creative, original, inspirational individuals to ever come down the pike. And he is none other than our brother, the iconic Bushwick Bill. What's going on, Bill? How you feeling tonight, my brother?
Every day above ground's a good day. How's yours?
Every day above the ground. Anytime you on the right side of that grass, then you doing something right, man. First of all, I just want to tell you that I'm honored to have you here, man, and it's a blessing because I know the kind of work that you are in the process of putting in with this project that you're working on, and we're going to get into all of that. So I just thank you for taking time out, because I literally, he literally interrupted the studio session to come and be with us tonight. So we appreciate you, my brother. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling I'm on some greetings and salutations. You know what I mean? I'm feeling uplifted, feeling blessed. No need to be stressed. God got me, and God's love is correct. You know what I mean? God manifested it, and it was ever so clear. Now it's clear so ever. All I got to do is trust Him, and I'm good.
No doubt, no doubt. I was sitting in the lab with you earlier, and you were playing some of your songs. And I've been to the studio since you've been working on this project probably at least 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. And I've heard many of the tracks that you're working on, man. And I just want to say, not blowing no smoke, that you are really putting your heart and your soul into this project. And I'm hearing all of the different styles and the different concepts that you're coming with, and seeing all the love from the different people who you've reached out to work with. What's it been like, this process of putting this together? Because you told me today you had like 36 songs done. What's that been like when you dropped a couple of solos, but you ain't never put a workload like this together?
It's crunch time. You know, when your back's against the wall and you look at all these entertainers that passed and their families stuck holding the ball, their kids know that their parent was great, but wasn't great enough to set a will, wasn't great enough to put up a trust, wasn't great enough to leave generational wealth, but just leave it up in the air for people to fight for it.
Wow.
And it's not that any one of them did it intentionally. It's that we just love music and love people, and we just caught up in the creative juice and rush and mood and moment. But how could you forget your kids, though?
Yeah.
How could you forget your mom and dad? You want me to tell you how? It's easy when you're living a fame life. Fame is a facade. fame is a drug. Fame is a deterrent. You know what I mean? Fame blindsides you. Fame got you out of focus. You'll find yourself saying things to people that you never would have said to them before.
Right.
Because you just feel privileged and like you could do that.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you walk in the mall and you name your own price and people go for it. I mean, how do you feel like you ain't some type of rap god?
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
So you speaking about just that intoxication that comes with when you reach that level of fame.
Reno, it's the seduction of the intoxication, my brother. Please get it right.
Right.
You're being seduced from proper conduct and proper mannerism and proper decency of respect for yourself and others because it's, F it, I'm famous.
Wow, right. And that's a good point. A lot of people get bit by that bug because of the fact that we start out in this game from nothing. We just some cats off the street trying to rap. And like you said earlier, you doing it so much for the love that once you start getting some traction and some juice and people start pointing at you, man, that's him. Hey, man, will you sign this? Hey, can I get your autograph? Can I take a picture? Then that is something that kind of takes you off your focus. And then years pass and you wouldn't on your business focus. And that happens to a lot of artists, man. We see that a lot. So, I mean, that's a great point. We got the legend Bushwick Bill in there.
But think about it, though, right, Reno? It's not a new thing. If we really go back and look at hip-hop, Chubb Rock says, be nice, sign an autograph, make a new friend. That means it was common to watch people disrespect their fans. Like, they mean nothing, but they're the ones just bought the ticket to the show.
He said if these kids don't go buy our records, we'll be has-beens. And
plus butt naked.
Yeah.
He said we'll be has-been plus butt naked.
Right.
So sign an autograph, make a new friend, because these kids don't buy your record, you'll be a has-been plus butt naked.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you remember KRS One song? Big cars, big rims, just out of here.
Right.
Last album was hot and you want 8, it's out of here.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Why? Because you disrespected the fans. You had no decency about you.
Yeah.
You had an arrogance. You had a I'm above you and you are beneath me.
Come on, man.
But guess what? If they didn't buy your record, how are they beneath you?
Yeah, no doubt.
They are your support team. They're the spinal cord to your career.
What makes people lose sight of that? Because it's crazy because a lot of artists, they do kind of take on that mind frame like, I'm too good for you, and you the one buying these concert tickets, you the one buying these records and this merch. What is it that infects and poisons an artist's mind to make them
tell you what
not
it is,
understand
man?
That, bro?
I mean, in short, no pun intended, it's about the willingness, right?
Right.
Of you see an aunt and her niece and a cousin come to the room and all get naked. You lose sight of the respect for family.
Yeah, no
because
doubt.
Here's an aunt bringing a niece and a cousin.
Right.
I mean, literally.
Right.
To do whatever with anybody.
Right.
It's like, whoa. So you become, what is the word, numb?
Yeah.
You become numb, and once you become comfortably numb like Pink Floyd, then you become disrespectful because there is no boundaries of respect because you're not seeing self-respect from these people.
And it's an entitlement, that kind of cloud of entitlement comes over you, right? Feeling like you're supposed to do this for me.
Yeah, then all of a sudden it becomes a thing that you expect.
Right.
Instead of just respecting people and saying, nah, you ain't got to do all of that just to meet me.
Right.
I wasn't strong enough to say that. I wasn't bold enough to say it because I was being told that this is the rewards of reaping the fruits of my prosperity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one told me, yo, put a check on your morals so your turpitude have balances.
You was young too, though.
Yeah, but no one, are you hearing me? No one told me, Bill, put a check on your morals so your turpitude has balances.
They was probably doing it too. So yeah, they ain't gonna, nobody, the people that's participating in that, they're not gonna say that. You know, they're not gonna say that.
I mean, you seen the NWA movies. I mean, there's no shame in having sex in front of anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just incredible. And it's like, if it's not sex, okay, take it off of women. It's not all women that are degrading themselves, but I'm just speaking on particular moments, right? But there's also dudes, like Ice Cube said. Here's the groupie, the dude that's all on my Snoopy.
Yeah.
Get off my and tell your girl to come here.
Right.
So there's dudes that all of a sudden act like they willing to get naked just to be around you. Be like, hold up, homie.
Right.
It's like, you ain't got to hug on me, dog. You ain't, don't kiss me. No.
Right.
Nah.
You need to still be a man.
I don't get that. You don't kiss me on my cheek, homie. I mean, my dad don't even do that. It's like, come on, man. Nah, Bill, you know this is how we show love. Nah, I don't need that much love, homie.
Right. Even if you're a fan, still be a man. Plain and simple, man.
You know, but people just get beside themselves, dog, and then the ones that really hurt you are the ones that faint and don't tell you that they so passionate about you, and then you don't know what to do because they fall and bust their head, break an arm, and you're like, damn, just because I was here, that hurts.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, so now their whole day ruined because they met somebody they like. It ain't supposed to be that way.
No question.
You know what I'm saying?
No
so yeah.
We talk about that a lot on this show. Just artists having appreciation for the fans, for the people who make them, and how you can meet 1 million people and never remember not one of them. But that one person to meet you, and whatever that experience is, good or bad, they're going to remember that for the rest of their life. So it's important how we deal with them and treat them. We're sitting here with the legend of OG Bushwick Bill, and we just getting into it right here on K-Rino Radio. Shout out to everybody that's on Facebook Live checking us out as well. We were talking about the project that you're working on earlier, and basically going into the fact that I have just seen your grind now. I've seen the kind of work you putting in. Bill is literally living in the studio, y'all, doing 10, 15, 20-hour days in the studio, getting this project out. And we talked about, of course, it's been well documented now, just the diagnosis of the cancer and all that. And is that part of the reason why the grind is going on like this? And how have you been working through that and balancing life and the music throughout this whole process, and where's your mind at on that?
I wouldn't tell you it's easy, but I wouldn't say it's hard. You just gotta show your vulnerability. Wear your heart on your sleeve. Let people know you do have questions, that intelligence do not stop emotional roller coasters. You know, so being human, you have to acknowledge that you're human. You know, it's like that group Human League. I'm only human, flesh and blood of man, born to make mistakes I am. Written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. But at the end of the day, though, man, it's like, if it wasn't for the therapy of music, because God said David danced and did music that brought him joy, and the joy of the Lord is our strength, that's what's been keeping me going.
Right.
It's just the joy and love from God, and that musically I know I'm being guided by him, and that I don't want nothing wrong on the record. No, nothing derogatory, nothing demeanored, nothing saying things that are unnecessary. Everything on there is from my heart, and it's not harsh, it's not coarse, it's not demeanoring, it's not self-involved, and it's not self-pity, it's not anger, because I'd rather tell people to their face how I feel than put it on a record. So, I mean, it's about my spiritual journey.
Right.
I cannot do certain things in respect to what God has done for me my whole life. I mean, Supreme did the Ghetto Boy shirt. We have a lot of pictures. Why my eye? I mean, I already pimped myself with the eye. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about the Can't Be Stopped album.
Yeah,
right.
I already pimped myself with the eye thing. You know what I mean? I'm not, and I repeat, I'm not pimping myself with my cancer. This is not one of those moments.
Let me ask you a question. When did you first get the diagnosis? Was it something?
The actual diagnosis, I told Face and Will partially about it 4 days before my announcement. I talked to them that Wednesday, well, it's okay, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 6 days before my announcement. And I told them they're saying it's stage 4 pancreatic cancer, you know what I mean? But that they're looking like it's going to be aggressive, but they're saying that's what it looked like. Like when they finally called me and told me this is what it is, we need to start aggressive chemo, and they brought me in and my body lit up like a Christmas tree, you could imagine my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like me and Will had a discussion, you know, and he actually got a chance to see me, and I'm like, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Look at your brother. It's really real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he had sympathy and empathy, you know what I'm saying? So he gets where I'm coming from.
Right.
You know what I mean? Face has sympathy and empathy. They get where I'm coming from. But at the same time, they feel like it's a strong title. You know what I mean? And I get their passion on that. I comprehend that. But I cannot promote and confess to God that this is a long goodbye, farewell for Bushwick. I cannot do that. After God brought me back when I was pronounced dead, in ever so clear moments, man, it's like when that song tells you what it did. God brought me back, not man. And Jeremiah 17:5-9 explains it. Cursed is the man whose hope is in man, who makes flesh his arm. Blessed is the man whose hope is in God, whose trust is in God. Flesh didn't bring me back.
Right.
Flesh gave me no hope. Flesh did not save me. No amount of love in the world and donation will save me other than God.
Right, no question.
Now, God did say, money is not the answer to everything in Proverbs or as Ecclesiastic, but it does solve a few. Money is not the answer to everything, but it does solve a few problems. You know what I mean? But it's not the answer to everything. The only problem it could solve is keeping my doctor bills at bay and making sure that my kids don't suffer, where they could take care of themselves. I got these bills here. I got some money where I could try alternate routes of care, travel the world in certain times and certain moments to try new things and find out things. I mean, it's harsh, 8 hours of cancer. Like 8 hours of chemotherapy, right? You're just dealing with, all you're thinking about is cancer for 8 hours straight.
Right.
Then you get out of that. Then they attach this ball to my shoulder. Then I'm pulling my shoulder and damn near yanking it out my neck and my shoulder every night because it has a long cord. Right. I mean, it's straight up torture, homie. I mean, I gotta have a medical team around me. It's like no one is thinking that. Okay, Bill needs certain things. If we're gonna do this, Bill needs his medical team of people with him. We can't be responsible for that. We as brother of arms. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We as brother in music, we stand firm together, but this is the man's life. We can't take chances because the chemo breaks my immune system down to an AIDS patient, homie.
And the traveling takes a physical toll also. You know?
I'm susceptible to anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying nobody's heartless and nobody has a heart. I'm just saying the motive from them is, we gonna get you this much money. But ask me about my health and what it takes to get me there, homie.
Right.
Please ask me that.
Right. Right. No question.
You know what I mean? Ask me why the title offends me.
And the title,
the long goodbye,
the title
farewell.
He's speaking about it is the long goodbye.
It's representing death, now, not life.
And
that's how I feel spiritually. It's a spiritual thing. It's not nothing against men. Because cursed is the man whose hope is in flesh, whose trust is in flesh. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, no doubt.
Who makes flesh his arm. So no, it's not against no human beings. For we battle not against flesh and blood, but rulers and principalities in high places. Please don't put yourself higher than God. Please don't think this is a personal woo-woo against who. This is the devil and Bushwick Bill. And I'm standing with God.
Come on now.
I'm not selling my soul. I see what I'm doing. I'm denying what God promised me. If I go on the long goodbye, farewell.
Right.
It's speaking death, not life. And if no one could understand that, then I guess it's like Jay said when he got his award today from TSU. You know, he said, you can't help anyone who's stuck on stupid. You can't expect anyone to grow from what you're saying if they're stuck on stupid. You know what I mean? He never said they were stupid. He just said they stuck on what they want to do.
Yes,
in respect.
Stupid activities. Yeah.
In respect to the man's life and health. This is my life being played with. And I know they're not trying to play with my life. And I know the devil is good at using people, dog. I've been used unwillingly by the devil most of my life until I look back at some of the dumb stuff I did. Be like, really, Bill?
Right.
You really did that? It's like, wow.
Yeah.
You honestly did that knowing that God said, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
I want to ask you this real quick, because we talked about this earlier today a couple of times, where you talked about speaking life and not death. You
know how many times in my career I just want to die. Kill me.
Come on,
how many times I confessed this for the group?
Come on, man.
How many times I was the crazy psychomaniac guy that death is his only comfort? It's not true, people.
Come on now.
It's a character.
Come on, man. Come on.
I am not suicidal. I do not love life more than God, but yes, I love the life He's blessed me with. And yes, I take it as a blessing. Yes, God didn't have to give me this life twice. So it's a privilege now to be blessed and have life. And no, I cannot turn my back on that.
Man.
I will dust my feet off from that land and step there no more.
You reminded me of when you was going through that just now, when Biggie named his album "Ready to Die."
Mm-hmm.
See, those words, when you put that out into the universe, it has a boomerang effect. We have to be very careful with how we use this language and what words we present, because as Bill was saying, you're portraying a character, but those words still have weight.
Spiritual life.
They have spiritual life, and they have weight that can manifest themselves in a physical form if you're not aware and you playing around with that kind of language.
So I have nothing against the group, and people stop saying that. That's
Right.
not the truth.
No doubt.
I'm against the title. Please understand, those will always be my brothers.
No question
You know
about
what I'm
it.
saying? But I feel right now that there needs to be some sensitivity to my feelings. Yes, I'm a grown man, but my sensitivity to my feelings is standing firm in my spirituality. You know what I mean? For God said, do not live by feelings, but by faith.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he said, guard your emotions for to ruin your life. So this is not an emotional thing. It's me confessing spiritually that God means nothing to me. That I'm just on a long goodbye, farewell.
Yeah. You're just
That's
giving up.
Here it is, people.
Accepting it.
I'm
yeah.
laying down. I'm giving up.
Right.
Nice for y'all to come out for the long goodbye, farewell. Because Bushwick Bill don't believe God could do it again. And I'm so sorry, that is not the truth.
No question.
Man did not save me before. Man cannot save me again.
Let me ask you this. We was talking earlier, and if y'all don't know, this project that Bushwick is working on, it's a who's who, man. And he told me something a couple of weeks back. He said that all the years that he had been working in the music industry, he had never, ever really asked people to be on his project. And when you think about that, it's actually true. It's like, I never remember Bill just having this guy have, but then you was like, for this project, I'm reaching out to all the people that I never worked with. Those were your words to me. So I'm honored to be on it. Anybody you name is on this project. And you said something today, though, when we were just at the studio a minute ago. You said, I just can't believe, I'm paraphrasing, I can't believe that these people actually reached out to work back when I called them. So the question I got to ask to you is that, do you not know your value and how much people love and appreciate you? Because if Bushwick Bill called, man, I don't know anybody in the industry that wouldn't respond to that call and say, yeah, I got you. I'm sending you 16 a day off. I'm in town. I'm coming through. Do you not have an understanding of your value of what you mean to the game and to us?
To be honest, man, I prayed one thing when I got famous, because I left church to pursue my love for music, lost my eye, died, came back, have a tremendous emotional roller coaster of a life that have affected me emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And I know it's because I turned my back on God. I was on my way to India to build irrigation systems in school, and I heard music, and someone told me I was good at it. And then all of a sudden I was like, and that was DJ Lonnie Mac, rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
He's like, I'm gonna call Ready Red, rest in peace. And I'm like, you mean the album Hurricane gave me, the Ghetto Boy song? He's like, yeah, them. He's like, Bill, you'd be perfect, man, I'm telling you. You know how to dance, and that's what they need. Like, they need that hypeness because their lyrics is so deep. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna feel that way about me. He called Ready Red. Ready Red saw me dance and do the hype thing for Lonnie Mac, and he called Lil J. Lil J came through and scoped me out. Then he called a meeting with me, because Lonnie Mac moved from Club Flames off of Belair and Geshner in the same parking lot as High Times. It was in the corner. It was a Latino club that would do hip-hop nights back in the day. And then he switched from there to the Rhinestone Wrangler, well, the Thunderdome. Then it became the Rhinestone Wrangler. But if it wasn't for Lonnie Mac and Ready Red, I'd never met Lil J.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I denied God and went with music. And you've seen all my troubles. You've seen all my losses. You've seen all my turmoil. You know what I mean? I would just get mad and say anything in the press. I would just get mad and say anything to anybody interviewing me in front of their face, because I know I'm not loved. I know if I wasn't Bushwick Bill, you wouldn't love me. I know this for a fact. You wouldn't even be fainting. I would be just a funny-looking short guy, period. And if people think I don't look in the mirror and know that, yes, I'm a human being, but I am an odd character to observe. Yes.
Well, I'm going to say this. You an example of how an individual's frame has nothing to do with what's possessed internally and mentally and spiritually. Because this one of the most intelligent cats I ever been around, period. You know, he can just expound wisdom off the dome. This ain't nothing. This is just who he is. So you talked about how just being born the way you was born, okay, people wouldn't look at you the same way. And that's true in a lot of instances. It's just for any entertainer, athlete, or whatever. But in your case, I can assume that it is magnified. You talked about how you almost didn't make it just through the process of birth.
Yeah, I was a breech baby. Me and my mom almost died in the process. It was 27 hours of deliberation of birth. And she bled so much in a third world country that when her body relaxed is when I stopped going hand, feet, and just came straight out.
Wow.
But the funny part is I didn't just come straight out. The placenta came out before me, so I should have been poisoned coming through the birth tract, so I shouldn't have made it.
Wow.
Literally.
Which means
I'm in the medical books. Me and a kid in Europe are the only two that ever survived coming out after the placenta.
Which means that God had a purpose, that you're supposed to be here, and here you are, and here you
and I can't stand against God, and I can't curse God's love, and confess that it's a long goodbye, farewell. It ain't. And if it's for the group, or it's for any other group member, please put it in the press as so. Right. Take the pressure off of Bill. It should be, the press should not be saying, Ghetto Boys reunite for a long goodbye, farewell for Bushwick.
Let me ask you this now, with all this music that's coming out, are you putting this out on your own label? This is all you now, right?
Yeah.
So this the first time in your career that it's been all you? You're not under a label, or?
My No Surrender, No Retreat, my Gutter Mix, all that's me. Yeah. Oh, my no Surrender, No Retreat, my Gutter Mix, all that's me.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? I did my own thing.
Yeah.
And I was just testing the market and experimenting, and I seen what is what. And I'm like, okay, so now I know certain things. See, it's one thing to be an entertainer, it's another thing to understand the market. So I worked in radio at 107 in Memphis. So I worked as an intern in a record label to understand the inner workings of what they do for a record.
Right.
You know what I mean? They create you famous, but it's what they do for the record that makes you famous. You know what I mean?
Right. No
famous just means known.
Right.
We take it on a persona as an action and a way we should be. But it just means notoriety.
That's right.
Just accept the notoriety and stay humble.
No question, man. Staying humble. Is there anything about your career that you would have done differently, business-wise, if you knew then what you know now? Was there been some moves?
Nah, I wouldn't have did nothing different. Lil J's my brother. You ask him.
Okay.
From the time I first met him, I was like, yo, I want stocks in the company and shares in the company.
Right.
I don't want nothing else but that. And he would look at me and laugh. He'd be like, Bill, ain't nobody thinking like that, man. Yeah. Nobody asked me that, man. I'm like, I'm from New York, yo. I want stocks and shares of the company. This company gonna bubble.
You was on that way back then. Huh?
84. Yeah. Ask Dave, man. I promise you. Call the man. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
84. We driving in his Mercedes. And I was like, man, with all these ideas I got and this Ghetto Boy Making Trouble album, man, if there's anything I would ever want, to be honest with you, it'll be stocks and shares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Points and shares in the company.
Ground flow action.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that in 84.
Yeah, no doubt. No.
You know what I'm saying? But I thought he became famous, I forgot to ask again.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what the check was. Then he would give me the check, and then I'd go squander it like a fool. Go to the club, I'm the big man.
Yeah.
Bottles of champagne, strippers roll with Bill. It's going down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I lost sight of a lot of things. It wasn't until I had kids I became grounded.
Right.
Because I'd give my mom and dad money. Then it was just money to play with. Paid my bills up for months. I already put deposits on the light and gas.
Right.
Because my mom raised me that way, so it didn't matter what I did. I was not going to be in the dark.
Right.
I was not going to be homeless. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't real. It was a facade. I was just pimping my own finances. Like Willie D says, Messing off money ain't a plus, it's a minus.
Yeah.
But when it comes to spirituality, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul?
No doubt. Absolutely nothing. The great Bushwick Bill is educating us and teaching us as he always does, and we honored to have him on this platform. Now, everybody who knows H-Town history, they know that you were originally from New York. How'd you get to Houston in the first place? I don't think I ever asked you that. How'd you end up coming from New York and ending up in Houston, Texas?
Actually, I was coming from Minnesota.
Okay.
I left New York and I went to Bible school in Duluth, Minnesota, where Lake Superior is the coldest water in the world. You cannot survive it for a minute and a half without hypothermia. Of course I jumped in it. That's why when people tell me what I can't do, I got witnesses to me jumping in it.
Yeah,
they said, Bill, come out now. I was like, no, God got me.
If we had social
like, man,
media
you and God
around
is
that
something
time.
else. It was like, God and you something else, because nobody should be able to survive that.
Yeah.
Then I jumped off of Gooseberry Falls.
What is that?
You know what I mean? That is by Hiawatha, Minnehaha.
Okay.
And it's a tall mountain. Everybody taller than me jumped off, but yes, little Bill did the dang thing.
Right.
Now I'm told, yeah.
Went up and down.
Yeah, man, because, you know, I gotta trust God that he made me normal. There's no obstacle that I cannot abound with God's help.
Yeah, no doubt.
With God's strength and power, I'm good. See, the way I feel about me and this whole cancer thing and me and God, like me and God and this whole cancer thing, is that cancer cannot be my sir.
That's right.
When I'm bought with a price and God gave me the privilege of life through my parents.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it reminds me of Elijah and Elisha.
Come on now.
Elijah told Elisha, let's step out the cave. You shaking off up in here worried about, look at the enemy. They are many. God, lift the veil from his eyes. Look at our protection. Look at our protection. They are many. And God lifted the veils from Elisha's eyes, and he saw flaming swords and horses ready for battle. The horses made ready for battle, but victory rests with the Lord, Proverbs 12:1.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that's based on Elisha and Elijah. Bible back up Bible.
See, look at that Bushwick.
You know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm doing this. I'm not being deterrent because I'm a little confused man. No, I cannot sell my soul. I cannot spiritually tell God I trust him and flirt with denial.
What's impressive through this whole process, too, is the fact that a lot of people who may have received the diagnosis you received, a lot of people give up and kind of turn their back on God. They feel like, why? They take the why me approach. Here you are, you speak more strongly in God seemingly now than beforehand.
Because sometimes things happen so God could slow you down, ground you, and bring you back to your purpose.
That's right.
To let you know who you are to him. Why he would leave the 99 and go for the 1.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? And when you realize these
Teaching
things,
in here, man.
and you realize God's love, I cannot in good faith do the long goodbye farewell.
Yeah.
I'm confessing death. I'm announcing and promoting death. And that don't sit well with God. Man could destroy the body, but God could destroy both the body and the soul.
Right.
I don't fear man, I fear God.
Right. As we all should think. We all should think like that. We don't give up. We don't succumb until it's a period on your sentence. You keep on pushing.
I mean, but in all honesty, I died and came back. How could I deny God's power?
That's right. You've already seen it firsthand in ways that a lot of people may not have seen.
I allowed my eye to be pimped, homie. You know what I mean? For the group. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pimp my cancer.
No
You know
doubt.
what I mean? I was young then.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And I was proud of that picture. Until I realized I spiritually sold out. You know what I'm saying? I was saying this is all I could look like before God. When God said before I was in my mother's womb, he knitted me and formed me beautifully. Psalms 139.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I just showed the ugliness of what sin is. And confessing that's all I could be, and that's all I lived my life like.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? As a gross picture. You know what I mean? And people never knew it mentally affected me because I didn't know it was spiritually and mentally affecting me. I was not right. I was not on point. I was not emotionally straight. I had no discernment. I had no deception. I had no decency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't care. It's like If my eye could be put out there, you know what I'm saying, I could accept it and not have no pride about myself. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a hard picture. Don't get me wrong. But when God sits you down and say, spiritually, you gave up on me. You didn't show the triumph of you coming back. You took the picture before you know you was going to live.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're showing before belief. You're not showing trust in me.
Did you always think? Did you always have that in you?
I never always thought
hit you like that.
No, I never thought that way. God just been talking to me.
Right.
And he's like, don't do it again.
Wow.
This is personal. Your relationship with me is personal. This cancer is personal. Do your benefit shows for what your aim and purpose is for your sickness.
Right.
This is not a moment for all.
Right.
This is a moment for you.
Right. No question.
There's no brand involved. There's no name involved. It's life or death, pancreatic cancer.
Right.
I need the money for the fight.
Right. No question. I saw you talking about also one of the reasons why you're doing this music, this overloading on this music.
Because a lot of entertainers die and their families left holding the ball.
Exactly.
Old music sells, catalog sells, but your kids are stuck holding the ball.
That's right.
I know Lil J. I know he would give my kids something, but is he responsible for that? Did God give him those kids?
Right.
Did God give Will and Face and them kids?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't expect them to be responsible.
You manning up for your own.
My kids can't choose their parent. Parents can't choose their kid.
Yeah.
But how many entertainers? When I say the word entertainers, I mean it's not just music. It's the whole spectrum of entertainment. How many times death comes at an awkward time and catch them off their mark and they never did the one thing they've been planning for weeks.
Come on, man.
And the paper sitting right there just needed a signature. But they just thought they would have life. God willing and spare life, I will do this or that. It says in the book of James. Do not brag and boast about tomorrow. Say, God willing and spare life.
Right.
Tomorrow I will do this or that.
That's right.
Once you take it upon yourself to run your whole life and play God, hey, eat the bitter fruits of having your own way. Proverbs 4.
And God willing, and the Christian faith and the Muslim faith, we say,
I don't go by that. I'm not going to interrupt you in the wrong way, and I apologize if you feel that way, because I would never do that.
Go ahead. I'm just
but to be honest with you, I will not go by titles in belief. We're just children of God. You know what I'm saying? When they make us call ourselves Christians and Muslims, that's a corporate title. It becomes not personal with God. We are children to the Most High.
I totally agree.
Where I was
going with it was
because Christianity, think about it, right? In Antioch, when Paul, after being stopped in the desert and God corrected him, he went off into Antioch. Someone said, and this is in the book of Acts,
they gave him the name Christians.
Isn't he a follower of Christ?
Right.
A Christian?
That's right.
God never said that.
That's right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
God didn't say I was christened to be an Ann. He called me to be a man of God.
No doubt. What I was saying in the context was to prove your point. Actually, was to say that no matter what the so-called title is, the term means the same. So we actually in agreement. So that. Yes,
we'll never be in disagreement. I touch and agree on facts and truth.
No question. Well, let me ask you this, just segueing more into the record also, because I said earlier it's like a who's who, or who you got on there. Give us a list of just some of the people that you have on this project that's coming out from whoever.
I mean, let's just say I got SPC on there.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And let's just say People's Champ and Swangin' and Bangers on there. Let's just say Flipperachi on there. Let's just say Rampage, Busta Rhymes Cousin is on there. And let's just say I haven't put the song on with Sid and Slipknot yet. And I haven't put a bunch of other stuff on there yet with Sick of It All and High on Fire. These are extremely deep heavy metal bands, and they sell records within their own right, but they volunteer to work with me, including Deftones. So, yeah, there's other songs that ain't bad.
What do we expect to hear? I heard it, but what? Oh,
also Five Finger Death Punch that you saw Tech Nine with.
Gotcha.
They had asked me years before he did it. I just never took it serious. It's like now I'm taking everything serious and seeing where this could have benefited my kids instead of me just, man, record gonna sell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do shows.
Right.
But how many shows? Like, I'm just basically not saving nothing for my kids, but everything is right for them.
Yeah.
As far as the ones I could contact and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, all of the other ones are straight. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that I can't contact when I see them, they straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I just don't understand being a parent not taking care of your child. I don't believe a court has to tell me that. And especially when people come to me and get money for daycare and anything else, why would anyone ask me to go to child, what's that thing called when you have to pay?
Child support.
Yeah. Why would, I mean, because I've never done it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you not take me to paternity to make sure I'm the father? Why would you take me to child support? You don't know I'm the father, but you're going to take me to child support. You're basically telling me this. So I respectfully decline.
Right.
Because I'm ignorant to the law. Speak to a lawyer. Because they will tell you what yeah. Because I'm ignorant. I don't understand support and no paternity. So what court is going to give somebody support without paternity?
Right.
I mean, I must be ignorant or backwards. I mean, I don't really get it.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? But these are the things I deal with. In the middle of my chemo, all of a sudden people are thinking, damn, he might die. All this time, we never thought to get his last name for the child. All of a sudden, now it's like, oh. Yeah. Like, so if I wasn't dying, you'd just left it alone.
So are you starting to see, this? I guess this is a question, but I got to be real. Are you starting to see people becoming opportunists?
I'm starting to see Yahoo.com.
Come up close.
I'm starting to see Yahoo.com.
Break that down. Explain that. What you mean by that?
I'm starting to see Yahoo Eureka. We have struck gold.
Right. Gotcha.
Without that last name now that you never cared to give the child, by the way. Now that you think God's going to let me die. Wow. You want to make sure the child has a name. Little do you know there's a trust for a claim for all. 33 1/3.
Wow.
So I'd like to see the courts fight that.
Yeah.
And there's a will for everything Bushwick Bill. 33 1/3. I'd like to see the courts fight that. And tell me where I didn't make provisions for my children.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's unfortunate that that's the kind of game that we got to some kind of way participate in sometimes, man. And we kind of focus on the money instead of the life.
Coming and getting money from me, but having people trying to serve me papers. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. But anyway, enough on that.
Yeah,
for all of y'all dealing with that, just know God got you, man. And God said a fool and his money will depart. Since they've been accepting my money, I believe I should give it to a lawyer and to the courts, because a fool and his money will depart. So I'm not going to play God. I'm not going to give money that's not recorded. I'm going to go to the courts myself and give them money. Yeah. Because they should give the money to the child. Yeah. I'm not putting it in nobody else's hand. I want it to go through the courts. So it's monitored, documented, accurate.
But I like how you said in another interview that you was doing this project so your children wouldn't have to go through that type of crap that a lot of guys went through.
You know what I mean? This is the total purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch people fight when parents leave stuff. I'm making it simple.
Right.
It's 33 1/3. And it says which social security numbers I got. And it says as soon as the social security number for this child is presented, she has access to everything that is hers.
Right. And let me say this. This is just...
Because it's a trust. That means she can take it all out if she wants to.
That people should be doing anyway. Because, again, we speak in life. We ain't saying that he going nowhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we saying that this is just stuff you're supposed to do anyway.
This is a wake-up call for me.
No doubt.
I know God got me, but, I mean, this whole time he brought me back, I never made provisions for my kids. And they didn't ask to be born. And parents can't choose their kids. But the Bible says in Proverbs, a wise man leaves his children money.
Right.
And if I'm a man of God, then that's something I should be wise to.
No question, man. We're here with the legend. The great Bushwick Bill is in the building, man. And everybody, do you, like I said, I'm going. Do you feel all these? You've been in this game 30 plus years easily, man. In the industry side of the game, do you have times where you feel like you are underappreciated or underrated as an artist, just as an artist? Because people get to talking, they throw all these names out, and this guy, he just Houston. But do you ever feel like, hey man, don't forget about me. My name need to come up in some of these conversations too.
Nah, I don't feel bad about none of that. I mean, because if God didn't put me on your heart, don't mention me. I want it to be genuine and real.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a song where Scarface and Willie D's mentioned as ghetto boys, and I'm not. I mean, it's okay. I only been a ghetto boy since '84 in all my life. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Seniority speaks for itself.
No question.
You know what I mean?
No question. Well,
if this was any other corporation, seniority would be respected. But you know, rap just do rap, man. And I don't expect band members or record labels to feed my kids and be responsible for my kids because I was foolish enough not to make provisions. I ain't putting the burden on nobody. The burden is on me for having these kids.
You talked about times in your lifetime where you spoken at prestigious universities, man, like places like Harvard and all. What messages do you like impart to the people when you get that place? Because man, you got a lot.
Yeah,
man.
there's like a circuit that Ice-T and KRS-One was doing, and I got put on some of them because I was always in CNN, controversial, Dolores Tucker, Tipper Gore, Al Gore, Bob Dole. It's like, you know, so it was during those moments.
Came up through that.
They were breaking down my lyrics and wanted to know what's the basis and the mood and the, you know, like, is this just your opinion of ghetto trials and tribulations, or is it the actual facts of the turmoil that is being lived by the people there? Man, they asked some deep questions.
Right.
And I was like, yes, I'm just reflecting.
Right.
What abides.
Right. But I mean, my point is that you are qualified to speak and stand up in front of anybody. I don't feel like it's no group of individuals that can be having a conversation that Bushwick Bill can't walk into the conversation and jump right in.
Because I have a lot of useless information.
When
I was a kid, I read the complete Encyclopedia Britannica, the Harvard and Oxford Dictionary. That was my thing to do. I would just read what every word means. Yeah. Like, go all the way from A, B, C to Z. I would just read everything. So, of course, I could tell you anti-disestablishmentarianism. I could talk to you about moral turpitude and checks and balances. You know, and moral turpitude means that you are damaging the fabric of society, and it's changing the youth for the worse. And checks and balances is taking a inventory, stock and inventory of your life, taking out the things that are harmful and not helpful, and balancing it out with everything that blesses you, that uplifts you, that keeps you motivated. Wow. So instead of calling it checks and balances and moral turpitude, I call it checks morals. In other words, put checks on your morals and put turpitude on your balances.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, you showing so much, man. You showing a lot of strength through this fight. I mean, I'm tripping because, like I say, Bushwick.
Because it's my soul I got to check.
That's crazy, man.
It's like when the disciples, right, saw this man that he was blind and he was deaf. They said, "My Lord, what sin did his parents commit?" See, that's the thing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was healed. And yeah, he could see and hear. But what sin did his parents commit?
Yeah.
It didn't say parent, it said parents.
Yeah.
So, I know the sins that I've committed against God by denial and turning my back on him. And I'm reaping and sowing my denial of God. But in Corinthians, he says he always provides an escape. And he says he never gives you more than you could bear.
Right.
I have to stand firm and in the gap on that.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
that
right.
he's gonna do his thing with a living testimony. But this time I'm not turning my back on him. This time fame and money is not the aim. Right. This time fame and name and money is not the game or the aim. This time it's my life is in your hands. I'm only willing to obey and follow the righteousness of the path.
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
And live my life honorable so that you will bless my children because I lived a respectable life before you. I did not sell out on you. I didn't just run with a title for some money.
Right.
and left my soul hanging in the balance.
Yeah, well, you know that, and I'm seeing it. No, seriously, man, I'm watching it because I watch how he operates, just being in the lab with him, and I listen to what he said. He's always been profound and deep when he speaks, and very, very knowledgeable. But I'm seeing it, man. He's not playing around. You know, he's actually doing what all men should be doing, even before receiving a so-called ominous diagnosis. You should already be lining your ducks up and getting your life in order to establish something for your family, for your people, man. So that's a lesson. This is a living lesson right here, as well as a living legend. And he's actually being an example and teaching us right now something that we need to be doing.
Right about now, it's a curse and a blessing, a test and a lesson. But if you want to know how I'm going to make it, if you want to know how and why I'm going to make it, ask God the question. It's a curse and a blessing, a test and a lesson. You want to know how I'm going to make it, ask God the question.
Come on now. And I think that you are being an inspiration to anybody else who might be going through similar health challenges and all that. Because like I said earlier, a lot of people go into that feeling sorry for themselves. I don't know what you do in your private moments, but I haven't seen you go into that,
my brother,
feeling sorry for yourself moment since I've been
This
around.
whole situation is a curse and a blessing, a test and a lesson. If they want to know how I'm going to make it, ask God the question. Because that's all I'm leaning on. You know what I mean? My sins have cursed me. But God is going to bless me. But it's a test and a lesson. Not just for me, I'm an example.
No question.
You know what I mean? But if you doubt, ask God the question. He will speak for me.
Already, man. Bushwick Bill is in the building, man. And the shout out to Caesar, Yolanda Jackson, all the people that are shouting out Bill and showing love that are watching us on live. And just letting y'all know, man, like I say, I've been around this brother several times through the process and working on this project. And he a machine, bro. He's a machine. He not
while
playing
you're talking about the project,
yeah,
we got a big up and bring in King Baby Band. You know what I'm saying? Because they helped me on the reggae track. They helped me on the So Clear Ever song, and on the what more can I say? What would you want me to say? Yeah.
Come on in, King.
What would you like me to say?
And look, and let me tell y'all something about this brother, see, because this ain't somebody that I don't know. I done worked with him myself. This is my guy right here, you know. And then when I showed up and seen him the other day, I was like, "What's up? This is my guy." And he's just a genuine artist, a very original artist, man, who doesn't go along with the norms of how people make music. And so I'm glad
let's show him
without a doubt. Go ahead, put them headphones on, King, and
What's happening, man?
let us know what you got going on.
Yeah, let them know about your experience with this record, who you are, your group is, and what you got going on. Because you got something Sunday where you're performing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just plug everything. Big yourself up, man, because you've been a blessing from God, sent from God for me, and I truly thank you, and I'm honored and humbled by you.
Yeah.
Brother,
You know what I mean? You've been a blessing
mine.
from God, and I'm truly humble and appreciative. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead,
Start
King.
out by saying, man, it's still just life is but a dream. It's an honor to be here. You know, before I even plug another show, we have so many coming up, man. I just want to say this is one of the most important moments of my life, man, to be here in the presence of greatness like this. And it's like K-Rino said earlier, man, I really don't know if you know how important you are to the scene, how much you mean to people. I seen you on the news wondering the same thing the other night, man. It's you really inspire me, man. You say I inspire you. You inspired so many people across the globe, and I'm sorry, man. It's just an honor to be here, honestly.
I mean, and you want to know what's incredible? He performs ever so clear, right? What's incredible is that he performs ever so clear, just as one of his off songs out of his set, and then end up helping me put my thoughts and arrange them. I'm like, I want to say this and do that and do that, and he's like, as a fan of yours. And as a brother of yours, I'm just going to tell you, you got to tap into your feelings, like what's happening now. You can't be so much about the past experience. You got to deal with now. And then once I dug deep and started saying what I wanted to say and we writing it down, then I just walked in there and did it because it was just so me. It's like I don't have to second think anything. You know what I mean? there is people that help me with songs, and there's people I help with songs. I mean, at the end of the day, Christ sent the disciples out in two. No man is an island. I always got to lean on a brother.
No question, man. And then we want to say too again, like I say, man, we love you, Bill. You know, plain and simple. We not gonna be trying to be on no after the fact talk. You know, we love you, man. And I personally, and I know Murder One can attest to this, I appreciate you because, you know, I go back 30-something years. I go back to when we was beefing and battling with each other back in the jukebox days.
Jukebox and Prince John. Yeah, when Jukebox and Prince Johnny C was going to Fondren Great Skate.
And coming up the Sterling and skipping school.
Yeah, that's what a lot of things y'all didn't know, man. Jukebox used to skip school. Sometimes Johnny C would show up and they go to Sterling to battle K-Rino. They go to Fondren Great Skate, but it wasn't just K-Rino. It was anybody who thought they could outdo any Ghetto Boy.
No doubt.
But K-Rino was just persistent. I'm just going to let you know. That little kid was going to pop up and he got something to say.
Well, you know, the thing is, man, again, we didn't even realize back in that time that y'all would become what y'all became, but
what you mean? We become what we became.
Y'all,
we.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead, and I'm gonna let you. I gotta say this.
No, but were you letting, or the grace of God allowing rappers in the city to only know the only rappers with a record? But iron is sharpening iron. Skills is recognizing skills. Growth and development is coming from these sessions.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you help shape the attitude of raps on records because you got to let people know they can't come test you.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? You made that presentable.
And I would, but I have to say that God exalts people at the time and places when he wants to.
Exactly.
And y'all came
big up Prince
first,
Johnny C. Big up Jukebox.
Without a doubt. Big up
y'all know the Godfathers.
Everybody. Every inception of the Ghetto Boys. Plain and simple. But my point is, because he don't want to let me get it out. He don't want to let me give him this work, but I'm finna give it to him anyway. My point is that y'all showed the city that people from Houston could do it. Because the city wouldn't even support Houston, much less the other regions. So when we saw the Ghetto Boys, we saw, man, these dudes going gold and platinum, and the city is supporting it. Oh, we can do it too. So, man, we always appreciate that, and we not going to never let y'all not take them props, bro.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, to me, it's all about Death 4. It's all about Royal Flush.
No question.
It's all about Too Much Trouble.
Raheem.
It's all about Choice.
Yeah.
It's all about Raheem the Vigilante. You know what I mean? It's all about Scarface.
Yes,
it's
sir.
all about Willie D.
Yes, sir.
It's all about Bushwick Bill. And most importantly, it's all about the vision and the passion and the inside of J. Prince.
And we will leave it at that, man. It's been an hour well spent. I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in and checking us out on K-Rino Radio. Is it 2 minutes? Okay, all right. They're giving us 2 more minutes. So, Bill, if there's anything you want to say in promoting, pushing, and leave us
I want to say,
2 minutes.
I thank King Baby Band for their support on this record. I thank K Skrilla for his support on this record. I thank Texas T from Two Bad Brothers for his support on this record. I thank Paul Wall, ESG, the whole SPC crew. And I'm going to leave it at that because you won't believe everybody I got on it. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I mean? I thank Rampage for being on this record. You know what I mean? And I thank the Reese brothers for doing 2 country songs with me on this record.
You know, when the OG called, people go
and I want to thank King Baby Band for that reggae jam with the Gangsters Anthem. All up on the hand, all original, that y'all take on, man. Bushwick Sefi, show me uno steel. If uno ready for go eat a big meal. Gangsta, go in the bank and him no afraid. Gangsta, brandish vision and get paid. Gangsta, flash down gun pan parade. Gangsta, get a ready park and bathe. And also, gangsta no wrap up and play. Gangsta no take apology, no way. And also, gangsta you cannot betray. Gangsta will murder you in a middle day. So, show me uno hand. All original, that yachted gunman.
Man, look, y'all just got a free exclusive around this camp, man. Y'all just got some brand new Bushwick, man, straight off the live mic, man. Plain and simple. That's it. You know, he dropped the mic, he dropped the headphones. Word. So, you know what, man, again, man, blessings to Bushwick. We praying for you, brother.
Big us, bully, bye-bye.
And I know you're going to fight this fight, man, to the fullest. And again, the lesson from the night, speak life, not death, man.
Speak life, not death over your life.
That's right.
Speak blessings over yourself.
So
speak life, not death, and blessings over yourself. 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 Because a man confesses in his heart, so is it. As a man speaketh, so is it in his heart.
God bless y'all, man. We out, man.